Some footballers are worshipped like heroes. Others, they're booed every time they touch the ball. Today, we're putting them side by side, the most loved versus the most hated footballers of all time. Let's start with Lionel Messi. When people talk about the greatest of all time, Lionel Messi is always in the conversation, but what makes Messi loved isn't just his records, it's his story. As a child in Rosario, Argentina, he was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. His family couldn't afford treatment. Barcelona took a gamble on him at just 13, paying for his medical care. And in return, Messi gave them 2 decades of magic. On the pitch, his dribbling looks like poetry in motion. Over 800 career goals, 7 Ballon d'Ors, 4 Champions League trophies, and finally the World Cup in 2022. But despite all of that, Messi is known for his humility. No flashy trash talk, no over-the-top ego, just quiet brilliance. That's why even neutral fans love him. When Messi finally lifted that World Cup in Qatar, it felt like football itself had won. But on the other side, there's Sergio Ramos, the most red cards in La Liga history. He's known for elbows, late tackles, and confrontations. His most infamous moment came in the 2018 Champions League final when his challenge forced Mohamed Salah off injured. Millions of Liverpool and neutral fans branded him a butcher that night. Love him or hate him, Ramos played on the edge, and that edge made him one of football's most polarizing figures. Cristiano Ronaldo's story is one of rags to riches. From a small island in Madeira, Portugal, to global superstardom, his journey inspires millions. Ronaldo is admired for his insane work ethic. He trained harder than anyone, turning himself into a machine. 5 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Champions League titles, and over 850 career goals prove his obsession with greatness paid off. But what many don't see is his generosity. He's donated millions to hospitals, disaster relief efforts, and children's charities. He even avoids tattoos so he can regularly donate blood. Yes, critics call him arrogant, but for fans, his confidence is motivation. He's proof that discipline and dedication can take you from poverty to the very top of the world. Meanwhile, Luis Suárez might be a striker with world-class talent, but controversy follows him everywhere. 3 times in his career, he's been caught biting opponents. In 2010, he deliberately handled the ball on the goal line against Ghana, stopping a certain winner in the World Cup quarterfinal. Ghana missed the penalty, and Suárez celebrated from the tunnel, cementing his place as one of football's ultimate villains. He's also been banned for racial abuse, further damaging his reputation, yet he's scored over 500 goals in his career and is loved by fans of his clubs. But for many neutrals, he'll always be remembered for his scandals. Ronaldinho wasn't just a footballer, he was joy personified. Every time he touched the ball, stadiums erupted in anticipation. His skills, elastico flicks, rainbow kicks, no-look passes weren't just effective, they were entertaining. He won the 2002 World Cup with Brazil, scoring that unforgettable free kick against England that left David Seaman scrambling. At Barcelona, he transformed the club, leading them to Champions League glory in 2006 and winning the Ballon d'Or in 2005. But what really makes him loved is his attitude. He played with a smile, dancing with the ball, making football feel like a festival. Even rivals respected him. In 2005, after humiliating Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, the Madrid fans stood and applauded him, a moment of pure respect that very few players ever receive. Ronaldinho may not have had the longest peak, but he left fans around the world with memories of magic and happiness. On the flip side, if Ronaldinho brought smiles, Diego Costa brought chaos. Costa thrived on confrontation. He was strong, ruthless, and never backed down from a fight. Defenders dreaded facing him because he didn't just try to score, he tried to intimidate, provoke, and mentally destroy his opponents. At Chelsea, he was a key figure in their Premier League titles under Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte, but along with his goals came controversies, stamping incidents, violent conduct charges, and endless clashes with referees. Costa's style meant fans either adored him as their warrior or despised him as a dirty cheat. For neutrals, he was the perfect villain, a striker who made games fiery, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore. N'Golo Kanté is a modern football treasure. From working as a trash collector in Paris to becoming a World Cup winner with France, his rise is inspirational. At Leicester City, he was the engine behind their unbelievable 2016 Premier League title. Then he moved to Chelsea and won it again the very next year. Add the Champions League and the 2018 World Cup, and Kanté's resume is complete. But what makes him adored is his humility. Despite his success, he lives modestly, once being spotted quietly praying at a mosque mosque with fans after a match. He doesn't flaunt wealth or chase the spotlight. He's the kind of player who thanks his teammates first, always smiling shyly when praised. Kanté shows the world that being great doesn't mean being arrogant. That's why fans across the globe respect and love him. But Neymar is a completely different story. Neymar might be one of the most gifted players of his generation, but his career is defined by controversy as much as brilliance. He announced himself to the world with Santos in Brazil, dazzling with flair before joining Barcelona's MSN trio alongside Messi and Suárez. Together, they won the 2015 Champions League, and Neymar seemed destined to take over football. But his move to PSG in 2017, the most expensive transfer in history at 222 million euros, turned many fans against him. Critics said it was about money, not legacy. On the pitch, his diving and theatrical rolling, especially at the 2018 World Cup, became memes. And off the pitch, stories of partying and poor discipline frustrated fans who believed he wasted his potential. Despite this, Neymar remains a global superstar, adored by millions in Brazil and around the world. He's the perfect example of a player who is both loved and hated, often in equal measure. Andrés Iniesta is the definition of elegance. He wasn't loud or flashy, but his control of midfield for Barcelona and Spain was unmatched. Alongside Xavi, he orchestrated tiki-taka football, winning 4 Champions Leagues and 9 La Liga titles. The pinnacle of his career came in 2010 when he scored the winning goal in the World Cup final against the Netherlands, giving Spain their first ever World Cup. After scoring, he lifted his shirt to reveal a tribute to Dani Jarque, a fellow Spanish player who had tragically passed away. That gesture touched millions of fans worldwide. Iniesta rarely had enemies. Opponents respected him, fans admired him, and teammates adored him. Few players in history are as universally loved as Andrés Iniesta. But Pepe is the total opposite. Pepe is remembered as one of football's hardest defenders, but also one of its dirtiest. His career at Real Madrid was filled with trophies, but also controversy. In 2009, he shockingly kicked and stomped on Getafe's Javier Casquero while he was down, earning a 10-game ban. It wasn't a one-off either. Pepe was constantly at the center of violent tackles and heated confrontations. For Madrid fans, he was passionate and fearless. For everyone else, he was a loose cannon. Even late in his career, when he calmed down, the reputation stuck. Pepe's legacy is complicated. A great defender, but also a symbol of football's darker, more aggressive side. From Messi's magic to Pepe's madness, these players prove one thing: football will always have heroes to admire and villains to despise. Who makes your list? Let me know in the comments.